What does that even mean, Bauer's Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube. I'm back again today for not a game review, but something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be talking about BoardGameExchange.com, doing a review of my time with the service. Now, as a disclaimer, BoardGameExchange.com used to be a quasi-sponsor of ours. They used to send us games and post our videos on their website and whatnot. And I canceled, not because I was unsatisfied with the service, but because I had so many games coming in, Kickstarter games. I was getting, games pretty much every week in the mail to play and to review, at least one. So I just didn't have time to play these other games that were being sent to me. But first, let's go over how the service works. It is similar to Netflix, well, old school Netflix. It's more similar to GameFly, where essentially they're going to send you a certain amount of games for a 2-month period of time, I believe it is. And you can obviously have bigger packages or smaller packages. They'll send you the games, and then you will get to play them for a couple months and send them back. They charge you a certain amount each month, and I believe it was $17 is what I was paying. So it's a reasonable amount when you factor in the fact that these games can be, $40 to $80, very, very expensive games. Especially if you don't like one of those games, you have to eat the price of it. But they send it to you. They don't send you the physical box. They send it in a U.S. flat rate ship, like normally a medium rate box, or I'm supposing if you had a bigger one, a large rate box. But they'd send it to you, and they would have just the components in the rule booklet. They don't send the box. They just send it in like a giant gallon Ziploc baggy bag, and then when you're done and you're ready and your time has ran out, you send it back to them, and they'll send you new games from their queue, because you set up your queue, which has just tons of games on the website that you can go through. There's a huge library of games, new games, old games, small developer games, Fantasy Flight, big games. I mean, you can get Twilight Imperium, or you could get Love Letter. So from the hugest games that you can think of to the smallest games that you can think of, they have just about everything in between. So their selection is definitely one of the pros of the service, but I'm going to go to the pros and the cons a little bit later. But they'd send it to you, you'd play it, and then you'd take it back. They also had a program that you could purchase the game if you liked it at a discounted rate, and then they would send the box in the mail to you, which was a cool service. I never took them up on that, but it was a cool concept nonetheless. So that's BoardGameExchange.com. I'm going to go over my pros, I'm going to go over my cons on the service and who I think it would be for. First, on the con side, you can tell it is a smaller company. I'm assuming it's only ran by a few guys, because the customer service, sometimes it would take a while to get back when I'd email them. Like there was one time where my box got destroyed by rain, and so I was like, well, I need a new box. But the box that they had me send it back to them on was not one I could get at the post office. So they sent me like the sticker that I could use that I had to print off, but then it didn't work, so I had to do this, and I was running around in hoops. I was like, I just want to get this done. But it wasn't a huge deal. It was mostly my own fault because the box had got destroyed. If the box wouldn't have got destroyed, it wouldn't have been a problem. Also, another con you might be worried about is that some of the components are going to be missing and you're going to get charged for it. I never had any of that problems. I didn't lose any components, but also I never got a game that was missing components. As far as I know, they have like this really complicated measuring scale system where they do everything and they categorize everything. So that's not something you should really worry about. Another con of the system would be that, well, it was kind of hard for me to cancel. In fact, I still have not technically canceled. I canceled about a month ago, and then I got charged actually the other day. So I think that just goes back to the fact that it's, a smaller company. Those are about the only cons I have on Board Game Exchange. Moving over to the pros, I definitely think it's a great service, and I definitely hope it succeeds and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and they get better deals on shipping so they can lower the price or do whatever. Not to say that the price is bad, but I really would love to see it get bigger and succeed, because I think it is something that a lot of people can really use. Now, I canceled mine, and I would never consider getting it again because, well, I have tons of games as it is. People send me games to review, Kickstarter games. After games get Kickstarted, they send me games. So getting new games isn't really a problem for me. However, if it is for you and you're like, I don't know which one games I'm going to like, well, then this would be fantastic for you because you can try out a game before you like it. Say you want to, maybe you don't have a local game store near you. Maybe you don't have space for a game. Say you live in a studio apartment like I used to, buying these big bulky games was not really the way I wanted to maximize my space. I did forget one con though. The website is not the greatest. They did make upgrades to it which were drastically needed, and now it is a suitable website, but it still could get better, and I hope in the future it does get better. But moving back over to the pros, I like how they did everything. You don't have the box, but that's not a huge deal at all. I like the fact that you could buy the game if you ever really fell in love with the game. Then you could go turn around and buy it at a reduced rate from the MSRP, which is really nice. The customer service, aside from being, not as attentive as I would like, it was very good customer service. I never felt angry or anything at the customer service. The queue is huge. There are just tons upon tons upon tons of games to look at. Another thing I liked is when I first signed up, and they would send you maybe an extra game or two from smaller developers. Like some developers would give them games so they could just, people could get the exposure to their games. And so they say, oh, here's a small game. We'll just throw it in with your order and you can try it if you want to, which was really cool because I was expecting the games I ordered, but then I got the games that I ordered and another game. So I was like, yeah, and I actually ended up liking quite a few of those little games that they threw in there, and I actually own one of them now, so that is really cool as well. In addition, Victory Point Games is one of their big sponsors, I'm assuming. I got a beer koozie out of it from them, a canned koozie, sorry. Overall, I like BoardGameExchange.com. I definitely do. I want to see it succeed and get bigger and get better because it is a great idea. The people that are running it are pretty nice guys, great people, and I really hope it succeeds and the sky is the limit. It's going to be for some people, and it's not going to be for other people. After watching this video, I hope you can decide if you are one of them. If you are on the fence, definitely check it out for a couple months, see if it's your cup of tea, because it's pretty good service. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your time, YouTube.
That was a review for BoardGameExchange.com. For more reviews and previews, check back at Bauer's Game Corner.